الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. This is going to be the last video about boycotting, and I'm going to talk about it from many different angles. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make it beneficial and give me tawfiq and success in this video. I made some videos before, and I think I've explained it quite clearly. And I had an interview with Sneeko, and I also explained it there with details. But I believe that maybe making a video, and I want to add a couple more things about boycotting, making this video dedicated for boycotting, I think it's important. And I call it boycottism because it's slowly becoming, for some people, is becoming like part of wala wa bara. If you're boycotting, you're my brother. If you're not boycotting, you're my enemy. And this is absurd. Wallahi, I don't know what alim, what scholar, what dalil, where did you come up with this? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyways, the whole thing went viral, of course, because some of these people, may Allah guide them, the people who like to cause drama and cause fitna, and they feed and leech of such things with lies, shameless lies. Nas'Allah al-afiyah was-salama. And I will address this now. They used some of what I've said, and they cropped it out, and they made it sound like I am with Israel against Palestine. And how can a Muslim, how a Muslim yashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah goes against his Muslim brothers, let alone not only goes against them, sides with the enemies and supports the enemy against Muslims. This is unbelievable what these people are trying to pass this lie and spread it around about me. And the worst part is that people are believing them. Some people, of course, many people, I would say, are believing them. I don't know, they're believing them out of spite, because they hate me, they hate what I call for, calling out, calling to Tawheed, calling to Sunnah, and then refuting some of the bid'ahs of the Khawarij, of the grave worshippers, all these things. They're trying to get back at me. I don't know, Allahu Alam. But the whole attack, it's since the 7th of October, I've been getting attacked, non-stop, yeah, comments, everything. And this is sad, definitely. This is sad. This is something that kind of hurts. It does hurt. But life is not going to stop. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing my da'wah. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to keep me firm and give me sabr. And I came to this virtual world of social media to Wallahi to teach. First of all, to teach. And with that teaching, I learn myself and I develop myself, and I want the reward for that. That's it. Allah al-Musta'an. Anyways, let's get to it. Let me just show you this. What were the lies and how were they lies? I'll comment on certain things that happened or that was said in some videos. Here we got none the other, of course, Ali, aka Ali Dawah. And then we got, of course, Hajji, or he calls himself Bro Hajji. And there is this dude who, I don't know who he is really. He says boycott. His video is this, my photo with horns. I'm the devil. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not allowed, guys. This is, you want to refute me, you want to disagree with me, fine. But putting a picture like this, Allah al-Musta'an. There's Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's all I have to say. And then he said, boycott people like Faris al-Hamad. Why, ya akhi? What did I do to you? And here, Ali Dawah's thumbnail. And he's the master of clickbait. He is the master of, you can see, I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. Go to his account and you see his videos. Inshallah. Clickbait number one. He's a good marketer, I have to say that. So he says, Muslim scholar supports Israel. Unbelievable. Allah al-Musta'an. I don't know what to say. How am I supporting Israel? But anyways, and boycotting is haram. This is the mildest one, and this is really shocking coming from Bro Hajji, because he goes crazy with his words sometimes and his attacks. But anyways, let's see some of these videos and then I'll comment. Where is screen sharing thing? Here's Ali Dawah. This is his video. I just first part really he's just an introduction, and then there's also an ad or something like calling for someone to support, give charity to a masjid. Anyways,
so confidently, which you're going to see the clip now, mention the following, guys. Let's watch it for ourselves, and you guys will be as shocked as I am.
Country. When you go to the public and say, hey guys, everyone, we should boycott so and so company. What? I had a deal with that company. They're paying us, and when we have a deal together, you're ruining that deal, and it's up to the Muslim government that you cannot disobey it like that. If the Muslim government or the ruler says boycott, then yes, because he knows things you don't know, and they have agreements, they have taken care of it. So now he says, okay, to boycott, and it happened before. But if it doesn't happen now, meaning that we don't know something, it's going to harm us if we boycott them. Yeah. So boycotting, that's why many of the ulama, they said boycotting is haram. It's not up to you, Habib. It's not up to you. The deal is between the government or the government agency, like, the municipality or the Department of Economy or whatever. They had a deal with so-and-so company. You come and say to the people, hey, don't buy from them. Why? Who are you? What authority do you have? It's not allowed.
So guys, you heard that for yourself.
All right, just 1 second here. Taban, he didn't put the whole video. He put a little bit of the video, and then of course he's very smart. He posted, as you can see. Let me make it bigger so you see this. 1 second. How do you do this? Full screen. There you go. So he put up this tweet by this Israeli account that says boycotting Israeli products is haram. I never mentioned anything about Israel in that video. Yeah, and يعني subhanallah, Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول يعني أنت, you're going to believe the Jews, Zionists. This is a propaganda account, and you're going to believe that and not confirm exactly is that true or not. Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. Oh, who you believe, if a fasiq, a person who's unreliable, a person who's a sinner, a person who's wicked, comes with a piece of news or information about someone, then confirm it. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. ليش يا Allah? Why تبينوا? Why should we confirm it and authenticate this piece of information? أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة, that you're going to affect and harm a qawm, a people or some people about who are related to this issue. You'll affect them and harm them and transgress against them. بجهالة, out of ignorance, and then you'll regret it. فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. وين يا أخي علي دعوة? Why don't you apply this? Until you said here, يعني, you are merciful with the mu'mineen and harsh on the kafirin, but yet here you're using their information. And by the way, this specific tweet, I actually replied to them, and I said something really harsh. I can't remember, like, you pigs, I'll never support you, or I never supported you, or stop lying and things like that. And I am with my Palestinian brothers until I die, something like that. I said something like that. I don't have the tweet now, but you can check it out. It's on Twitter, or X now they call it. Yeah. But Ali Dawah did not use that. I would think that he saw it. طيب. And Ali Dawah, like I said, he clipped out my speech, my video. I think it's an 8-minute video, and I mention a lot of things that are very, very important that ruins what he is trying to say and what he's trying to spread about me. Allah al-Musta'an. But let's because there's a lot of things, calamities that he said in his video. Let's watch, and then I will comment.
Can you imagine, guys? The Prophet ﷺ told us, if you see evil, try to stop it with your hands. Try to stop it. If you cannot do that, and Ibn Taymiyyah says this could be that if you are a government, like if you have power, no problem. Try to stop it with your hands. If you can't do it, we know we cannot do that. It's hard for us to do that, no problem. Speak out against it.
Mm-hmm.
This Faris guy, wallahi, it's as if you had the power with your hand, you would not stop it. Let alone talk about it. And I've asked you many times, why do you not condemn? Forget condemn.
First, he said, why do you not condemn Israel? And I do condemn Israel. I condemned it many times. Many times. You can check my account. So now he said, no, forget condemn. Okay, what do you want, Habibi? What more do you want? So I can prove my Islam and my Iman to you, which of course I don't. I don't have to prove my Islam and Iman to him. He's not God. But what do you want exactly? Listen to this.
Salt ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala end the Zionists, not the Jews, the Zionist government, Israel. You don't, you refuse to. No problem, and we know why you don't.
Why?
We know why you don't.
What is that? What is that? What does that mean? Money? Is that what you mean? But one second. First of all, you're asking me to do dua against the Zionists? Maybe I am. Do I have to tell you? Dua is for you or for Allah? I don't have to tell you if I'm doing dua or not. That's between you, me, and Allah. Yeah. Maybe I'm doing dua every night. Maybe I'm doing qiyam al-layl and doing dua against them. How do you know? And why should I tell you? Who are you to, so that I report to you what I'm doing? Why do I have to get approval from you? Absurd. But this whole charade is, so there's a campaign against me. So, and then he does this, and I'm getting paid. Where is the proof that who am I getting paid from? This is absurd. Why am I getting paid? What am I doing that requires Israel to pay me? Are you serious? عيب يا أخي والله عيب. Value what you're saying. عيب what you're saying. You're a man. You're a Muslim man. What you say should be weighted. Am I saying something that's truthful? إن بعض الظن إثم. هذا مو بإثم. هذا كذب. This is lies, man. Where? How can you prove that I am getting paid to say what I said, or what I said? ما في. هكذا, just playing with emotions. So to destroy or cancel my reputation. Allah al-Musta'an. Allah al-Musta'an. طيب, let's continue.
We know where you live, and we know your comfort, your comfy sofa, and your comfortable lifestyle is more important. No problem. You cannot do that.
You know my life.
Now he's coming out and telling us the little that we have, not just hating it in the heart, like the Prophet ﷺ said, which we do, but at least we can say we can stop buying certain products and boycott. Now he's telling you, you cannot even do that. Let alone asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to end this government who is oppressing the innocent Palestinians. You don't do that.
What? I didn't say that.
Now he's telling us that when I go to a supermarket and there is a product that is there, and I'm like, I don't want to buy that product because the blood of my brothers and sisters is probably there, because I'll be playing a part in it by buying it because it supports this government, these oppressive violence. He is telling you, you cannot do that. Who gave you this ruling?
Okay. He's telling you. You see how he's making it he's very smart. He's wicked. He's telling the viewer, like, look, he's telling you it's haram not to buy. And then, of course, like I mentioned also, or I showed you guys in the clip or the thumbnail, haram to boycott Israeli product or Israel. I didn't say that. I never said that. And what I said was, you saw the video, that even the clip that he used, I said Muslim governments and boycotting in general. I never said Israel. I never said anything like that. And the whole thing was, people were talking about McDonald's and Starbucks, and I think, what else was there? Coca-Cola and Domino's. I think Domino's was part of them too. And some other companies. This is what I was talking about. I was talking about in a Muslim country. And he's in England. He's in the UK. And I never said anything about individual. I said about campaigns. I was talking about campaigns. But I don't know why he would lie like that. Nasallahu al-afiyya wa-salama. طيب, let me show you the clip that I just that part where he clipped, just less than a minute later. Look what I said. 1 second. Let me show it to you. All right, here it is. Listen to this.
It's not allowed. طيب, if you personally want to boycott, I say I choose not to buy from so and so organization or company or whatever. That's fine. It's up to you. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You don't buy. But don't go into the public and tell people to officially boycott. And if you don't boycott, then you're a sellout and you're a hypocrite and you're against Palestine. And this is nonsense.
What did I say? I said, if you individually want to boycott, boycott. Nobody's holding you. Aslan, it's absurd to actually put a restriction on every single person what to buy and not to buy. Who in their right mind would do that? That's just crazy. I never said that. I was talking about campaigns in Muslim countries, and I'll explain inshallah to you. So you see how this person is lying. May Allah guide him. Yeah? Yani, people call him Ali needs da'wah. I think Ali doesn't need da'wah. Ali needs to stop lying. Stop lying, bro. Don't do that. Abe, you're a Muslim. I don't understand this. Subhanallah al-Azim. Wallah, this is a major sin, man. You're lying. Ghiba, wa namima, wa buhtan. And you're trying to attack someone falsely. I don't know you know this or you don't. Most probably, at least if you're gonna do some attack or some video against someone, you should do your homework. Understand what he's doing, what is he saying? Does he mean this? Does he mean that? You know what I mean? And then you say who from the scholars did this or say that or whatever. طيب انت الشيخ صالح الفوزان, I think you're okay with him, صح? طيب, here's one. I'll share this and I'll show it to you. This is Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan. They asked him a very, very clear question.
يقول السائل: نسمع بين الفينة والأخرى عندما يحصل اعتداء من الكفار على الإسلام والمسلمين من ينادي بوجوب مقاطعة بضائع الكفار، فهل لهذا الفعل مستند من الكتاب أو السنة؟ حيث أن بعضهم استدل بقصة هجر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم للثلاث.
Here the question is, let me just translate it. The question that was directed to Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan, hafidhahullah, they said, what is the ruling of people boycotting products from the non-Muslims if they're attacking and hurting Muslims? Very relatable, yeah. And they said the dalil is that the people who the Prophet ﷺ boycotted or didn't speak to, the people who didn't, they didn't go to one of the battles. I think it was Khaybar, or I think they will mention it. But anyways, تخلفوا عن الغزوة. Now طبعا الشيخ صالح الفوزان, he'll correct him. He said not تخلفوا, خلفوا. Yeah, and then he will talk.
ثلاثة الذين تخلفوا، فهل استدلاله صحيح؟
تخلفوا؟ لا، ما تخلفوا، الذين خلفوا. ما قال الله الذين تخلفوا، قال الذين خلفوا، يعني خلف أمرهم فلم يعذروا في أول الأمر، خلف عذرهم إلى أن نزل القرآن فيهم. والمقاطعة يا إخوان هذه من سياسة الدولة.
See where he said المقاطعة هذه من سياسة الدولة. This is from the policy of the country, of the government. طيب, continue.
من صلاحيات ولي الأمر.
This is from the authority of the ولي الأمر, يعني the ruler.
إذا أمر بها لزمنا الامتثال.
If he orders us to do that, boycott, then it is obligatory on us to do that. لازمنا.
وأما إذا لم يأمر بها فالإنسان بكيفه.
And if he didn't order you to boycott, then الإنسان بكيفه. يعني it's what you decide. You want to boycott, you don't want to boycott, it's up to you.
يقاطع أو لا يقاطع، كل بهواه.
كل بهواه.
هنا بغيت لا تأكل أبد ولا تشرب أبد.
He's like, you don't want to eat, don't eat. You don't want to drink, don't drink. يعني go die. الله يحفظ الشيخ. طيب, easy يا أخي. 1 minute he answered. بس انتهى الموضوع. He's getting paid also, Ali? Well, no, it's very simple. The matter is very. Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan said this. Shaykh Sulaiman al-Rahili said this. Shaykh Salih al-Sa'imi said this. Shaykh Abdul Muhsin Abbad said this. It is a very clear matter. Campaigning is not allowed in Muslim countries. You're in UK, you're in some Kafir country, you decide to live there, you want to live there and have your couch. I don't know what's the problem with the couch. You live your lifestyle, a nice freedom of speech, freedom of everything lifestyle. Do whatever you want. You don't have a ruler there. Yeah, so you can do whatever you want. I was directing my talk. I said Muslim ruler. Yani Muslim ruler. Does that apply on you? لا. Think. Don't. Yani. Like, let's continue. Let's see what he says. This is crazy, man. Where is this? This one? No. Yeah, at the stage. I'm getting used to this, and sorry, I'm a bit slow with all this stuff. طيب. Stop screen. All right, let's continue what he said.
Which government body told you that this ruler decides this? That means that I in the UK have to follow it. Somebody else said, is there a Khilafah? Is there one ruler?
What? Wait. I'm in the UK. I didn't talk about UK. I said Muslim country, man.
Decides this. That means that I in the UK have to follow it. Somebody else said, is there a Khilafah? Is there one ruler? We don't have that. How do you?
This is a calamity. What he just said. Do we have a Khilafah? Do we have a ruler? What do you mean by that? Yani, what are these Muslim rulers then? Last I heard, they're Muslim legitimate rulers. Then we have to give them bay'ah and obey them. And they are the ones that have the authority over the country and the government and the people of their country. And yes, these are rulers, whether you like it or not. These are our rulers, not yours, of course. You are in the UK. You're under the rulership of some kafir. So what are you saying? What Khilafah? What are you? This is like the speech of Hizb al-Tahrir and the Khawarij. I'm not calling you a Kharij. Don't like fall off the seat or something. Fall off your seat. No. I'm just saying that this is the speech of the Khawarij. There's no hukam today. No rulers. You have to have Khilafah. If we don't have Khilafah, don't have any obedience, any allegiance, any batikh, anything. Is that what you're saying? Because that's a calamity, man. You need to sit down and get some serious advice and get taught about religion. These are very serious matters. Yeah. طبعا al-Khilafah doesn't mean if we don't have Khilafah, it means we don't have Islam, we don't have bay'ah, we don't have rulers. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this Khilafah thing is crazy. Nobody has ever said that. Like, if we don't have Khilafah, we don't have a ruler, and we don't have allegiance, bay'ah to the rulers, Muslim rulers. I don't know where you got this from. To be honest, this is scary, huh? This is concerning. Just to refute that, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said the Khilafah will end, and then there will be mulk. Hadith Sahih في Sunan Abi Dawud and other books too. الخلافة 30 سنة ثم ملك بعد ذلك أو كما قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. Khilafah is 30 years and then it is monarchy or mulk. Allah will give this mulk, this authority to whoever He wishes. And of course this was at the time of Muawiyah. Muawiyah was not a Khilafah, it was mulk. And then He gave it to Yazid and so on. رضي الله عن Muawiyah. And historically, ever since then until now, the ulama never said, Wallahi, there's no Khilafah, so there's no bay'ah, and there's no rulers, and there's no obedience. Anyways, this is a calamity. Nasallahu alayhi wasalam. And then he said another calamity here. Let's just hear this. This is crazy.
Your brothers and sisters' babies are being blown into pieces, and you have no utter shame. You got white beard, I said before in another video. Do you not have an utter way of shame that you have the audacity, the confidence, with your little smirking face to come and tell us that now we cannot to be on the manhaj? May Allah destroy you, your manhaj. We are not upon your manhaj. We are not upon your vile, disgusting manhaj. Yeah? To hell with your manhaj. You are now telling me that I cannot boycott and refuse to buy a...
To hell with your manhaj. Inshallah al-afiyus. What is my manhaj? My manhaj al-kitab wa sunnah ala fahmi salaf al-ummah. What manhaj am I having? Shaitan manhaj? Khawarij manhaj? Yeah? Hizbi manhaj? عيب أصلاً. Don't say that. Don't attack the manhaj. You have a personal problem with me, fine. But you're attacking the manhaj of the Salaf. It's calamity, wallah. Nasallahu al-afiyah was-salam.
Product. I'm going to be like, you know what? Faris told us that. I'm like, I
didn't tell you that.
To hell. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide.
I didn't. You're in the UK. Like I said, lies. And I showed you the video. This is unbelievable. طيب, as you saw, dear brothers and sisters, I did not mention Israel. I did not say that you cannot boycott individually. I did not direct the speech to any non-Muslim countries. I was talking about Muslim rulers. So by that, any guy with a shred of some logic, he will understand that. Well, I guess non-Muslim countries is not. He's not what he's talking about. Faris, he's not talking about that. And the other guy also, I mean, I don't think that it's important to show you this video of this other person's, talking about boycott. Basically the same thing. But I want to address something that Hajji said, and this is also another weird kind of dalil that he used, and it was quite entertaining, to be honest. Let's hear what Bro Hajji says.
Faris al-Hamadi has been barking. Okay, Faris al-Hamadi has been barking. So what we'll do is we'll play that for you.
Country. When you go to the public and say, hey guys, everyone, we should boycott so and so company. What? I had a deal with that company. They're paying us, and when we have a deal together, you're ruining that deal, and it's up to the Muslim government that you cannot disobey it like that. If the Muslim government or the ruler says boycott, then yes, because he knows things you don't know, and they have agreements, they have taken care of it. So now he says, okay, to boycott, and it happened before. But if it doesn't happen now, meaning that we don't know something, it's going to harm us if we boycott them. Yeah. So boycotting. That's why many of the ulama, they said boycotting is haram. It's not up to you, Habib. It's not up to you. The deal is between the government or the government agency, like the municipality or the Department of Economy or whatever. They had a deal with so and so company. You come and say to the people, hey, don't buy from them. Why? Who are you? What authority do you have? It's not allowed.
So you heard this bootlicker, Mr. Faris, who's actually Persian. He's Musta'rib, so he's
what? Wait, what? What is? Wait,
no. Farsi descent.
He's not. He's Persian. He's Musta'rib. And I'm originally Persian, but I lived in the UAE, and now I became an Emirati. What does that mean? Do you have something against Persians? That's a very racist comment, to be honest. How is that relevant? I'm not actually. This information is very wrong. I am Emirati. Hamadi is a very well-known tribe, and you can check out our history and how we moved around in the Arabian Peninsula, and yes, at some certain time we did live on the coast. Not me, of course. Earlier generations, we lived on the coast of Iran because of the poverty, and nothing was there in the Arabian Peninsula. But they were Arabs. They just moved there because of poverty, and they came back. So no, I'm not Persian. But even if I am, so what? My wife is Persian. So what? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ah, God, this is crazy. Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue.
So he's saying boycotting. Have you heard the story of Thumama?
Thumama.
Did he seek the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's permission before he boycotted sending stuff to the Quraysh? You know the story, right? So let's just put it up on screen. As you can see on screen, we've got Sahih al-Bukhari. And this is hadith number 4,372. I'll just summarize it just to show that his claims they're just like getting embarrassed. I don't know what it is. They're just so ignorant, and that shows their political ideologies take a preference before understanding the religion properly.
Right.
So as you can see on screen, 4,372, the story of Thumama bin Sal radiyallahu anhu. So he got captured, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam released him, and then يَأْتِيكُم مِّنَ الْيَمَامَةِ حَبَّةُ حِنْطَةٍ حَتَّى يَأْذَنَ فِيهَا نَبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. So basically, he already made the decision beforehand. So he stopped the crops coming, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then, if you carry on, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed him to give the wheat or whatever crops.
Oh wow! So the Prophet allowed him. So he didn't do it by his own self. So he had permission from the Prophet. The Prophet is what? Wali al-Amr. Yes, he played that role too. You just refuted yourself, kinda. Oh God.
So stuff back because they had a treaty. So come back to me now. So you can see they could have issues within themselves, but politically they are united in giving their favored rulers all sorts of excuses. Faris al-Hamadi made some non-existent conditions about boycotting regarding rulers' permission. What are you talking about? I just proved a hadith from Bukhari that goes against you.
You just proved my point, actually. Thank you. Oh God, I don't know. This guy, he's just entertaining, to be honest. Anyways, so and like I said individual boycotting, you can do whatever you want. But of course, him, like the other guy, what's his name, Ali Dawah, they went on with the same lie, and silly, very very silly, absolutely absurd what they did. طيب, moving on. As you can see, these are lies. Salah al-Afiyah salama. May Allah guide them. and I had to expose this. I've seen this a long time ago, but I really just didn't care. But I said, you know what, I just had to say it. طيب, moving on, I had an interview with Sneeko, and in that interview, I ordered a Coke, given the thing that I believe in, that I believe that boycotting in Muslim countries, it is up to the person. And I mentioned in Sneeko's interview that I don't believe that our franchise, which are located in the UAE or any Muslim country, specifically I'm speaking in the Gulf, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't benefit our brothers and sisters in Gaza in any kind of way. The factories in the UAE, the monies in the UAE, the workers are Muslim, the owner is Muslim. So that fraction of royalty, we call it royalty, that fraction of they pay for the mother company because of the branding and the ingredients, and it's a franchise. So that, and I said this in the interview, I said it's insignificant, that it doesn't affect and it doesn't benefit Gaza, doesn't affect or harm Israel. So I don't think that this is effective. So why should I do it? And so people are like, no, but you're insensitive. Like, insensitive to what? It's a product. I'm just drinking a Coke. Yeah. I'm not being insensitive about anything. Stop having these delusions. Yeah. And I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not going to hide behind a camera. In front of a camera, I'm boycotting. And behind the camera, I'm not boycotting. And maybe sometimes I will get caught. Like some people, yeah, I'm not like that. If I say something, I'll do it in front of you, yeah, and especially if something that is not true, it's silly. You want me to respect that? It's like these LGBT people. They say, one guy says, I consider myself as a woman. Now you have to call me a she, ma'am, miss. I say, no, that's not true. You're a guy. And that's it. No, but you have to respect my feelings. No, these are facts. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So this is also the case. No, you have to respect our feelings. Feelings to what, man? I also have feelings, and I'm feeling for my brothers. But drinking a Coke, see what I mean? Like boycottism, like this is becoming wala wa bara. You have to boycott. You have to show us on camera that you're not drinking anything. Why? Because of our feelings. What does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? So this is silly, to be honest. Now, let's see something that is very, very interesting. طبعا, here as we saw, Ali Dawah saying boycott. Muhammad Hijab also said boycott. And many people, even someone said, Sneeko, the revert, is boycotting, and this Muslim Dawah preacher is not boycotting. What is this? He's better than him, and blah, blah, blah. طيب, no problem. What about if I showed you this? Here we have Sneeko drinking a can of Sprite. Whoa. And we have our brother here, may Allah bless him and guide him, Warner. He's also drinking a Sprite. And of course, our dear brother Muta', they had an interview with him in his restaurant, and they're both enjoying a can of a soft drink that is produced by Coca-Cola. What happened? So people are scared of the mob, of boycottism to get cancelled, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. And the issue here with our brother also, I want to mention this. Our brother Warner, may Allah guide him, in my interview, he said, I don't want to be in that video. In my interview. Why? But what's wrong? There's a lot of heat on you, and I don't want to ma'raf shu min al-kalam. The thing is that, may Allah guide him. He has good intentions. But backing out like this because your brother is getting attacked falsely with lies, that's not very nice. Yeah, that's not very nice. I invited you to my house. and I honored you. And the least you could have done is at least contact me if you heard these lies. Faris, is that true? What was spread about you? Are you really supporting Israel? Are you really saying this? Are you really saying that? Nothing. He just cut everything out from me and never spoke to me, and he used to contact me from before, asking some of the things about religion and da'wah and all that. And I used to give him advice. After that, he cut out. ليش يا أخي? Wallah, it's too much heat for you. You're scared of your reputation, يعني. You're scared that people are going to cancel you because you are with me or you're linked with me or something. Very sad, very sad. And also, Ali Da'wah, and the man who was very emotional and very angry about me talking about boycotting falsely, very emotional about boycotting. He was also seen having a can or a bottle of Sprite and a Coke in front of him. Him and Muhammad Hijab and the other lot. I think there's another guy with him called Smile to Jannah. All right, so here is also Ali Da'wah and Muhammad Hijab after the emotional talk and everything, caught with a can.
That's indisputable, right?
You see it? There you go. You see it there? And there he is with Muhammad Hijab and the other brothers and all that. All right, so let me make it bigger. I think it's better if you want to make it that. Let me just 1 second. Here we go. So you see it fully. I don't think you can see it here, man. Let me try again. There we go. I think that's okay. Yeah. All right, let's play it again. Come back. Oh, there you go. See it? Right there with the pizza. There he is. And this is the question I raise. Are people scared of being cancelled? I think so. طبعا just to be fair, I think someone reliable told me that Ali Dawah came up and said, this was there, I didn't know about it, blah blah blah. It was right there and it was used. Yeah. So either you drank it, this is hypocrisy, but not religious hypocrisy, which is kufr, of course. But this is hypocrisy with what you're saying. Saying boycott, then you're here drinking Coke and 7-Up, and so what's going on? Or somebody with you was drinking it. طيب, if somebody with you was drinking it, I remind you of the hadith you were sharing with us. من رأى منكم منكرا. If you see a wrongdoing, then you should change it with your hands, with your tongue, with your heart. Why didn't you change it? Why didn't you say, hey, what are you doing? Are you serious? Get out of here. I'm not going to sit with you. Nothing like that happened. He was there and you seemed okay with it. So that's why, this whole boycotting thing, I think this is, a lot of people are just putting up an act, to be honest. And a lot of people also, some not a lot, but some people came up to me and said, we just can't be seen with doing this and doing that. We're hiding. Like they order McDonald's and they hide it. Like, I don't want anybody to see me. What is this hypocrisy? Not religious hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, worldly hypocrisy. I'm not like that. I'm not scared of anyone. Yeah. Wallahi, people told me this. Tell me, we don't want to be seen in public eating McDonald's and all that, but we eat. Other people also, we're drinking Coke. Yeah, we do, but we don't want to be seen in public. Why? Wallah, people will get angry and they'll get cancelled and attacked and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to play their game. If you're going to boycott with your heart. Boycott with honesty. If you're not going to boycott, then don't do this nonsense. Okay? Don't do this nonsense. Now, am I supporting Israeli products? The answer is no. I have never in my life used any Israeli products, and this is my individual preference. I don't buy Israeli products. I don't use Israeli products, whether they're food, whether they're clothes, whether they're anything related to that country, I don't use. Yeah? Even applications. There's a certain application that's widely spread. A lot of people use it. I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to promote it, but it's an application that it's like Google Maps. Yeah, it's quite good. I have to say, it's quite good. I don't use it. It's free. I don't use it. I don't use anything from that country. That's my preference. Yeah, my choice. Yeah, so I don't support Israeli products. I never even said that it's not allowed to boycott anything of that. I was talking about, of course, American products, which is Coke, McDonald's, and all these Coke, McDonald's, and what's the main ones? Starbucks. Yeah. Do I drink Starbucks and eat McDonald's? The answer is no, I don't. I hate Starbucks coffee. I think it's very low quality coffee. I don't eat McDonald's. I'm kind of tried my best to be healthy and eat healthy, and I'm into fitness and all that. So I don't eat McDonald's. I can't even remember the last time I ate McDonald's. It was ages, years back. Yeah. So I don't do these things. The only thing that I drink is diet, or not even diet Coke Zero, because it's low, 0 calories and all that. So I drink it. That's it. Yeah. Now, should we prioritize local products and favor local Muslim products? The answer is yes, absolutely. Why not? I do that myself. If I have the chance to buy and support local products, Muslim products, generally speaking, hatta not buying, even people, yes, I do that. And I support, hatta in Palestine. Any product that's coming from Palestine, I buy it. The oil that we use in my food, it comes from Palestine. We use olive oil, and I buy it specifically from Palestine. The olive oil that I use. There's a lot of things in my house that I always I'm very keen on buying it from local market, and if there's anything that's from Palestine, I buy it. They got the olives, the olive oil, the cheese, all these stuff I always buy from Palestinians. So yes, support them and fully on. Have I supported Palestine publicly? Because a lot of people have been accusing me, you are supporting Israel, you are not supporting Palestine, you are this, you are sellout, you are blah blah, you're getting paid. No, I'm not. So I've made numerous. This is only wallahi a small portion, and you can check my accounts. It's there. Check it. If you have some honesty in your heart, go into my accounts and check. I've made several posts over on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, charity. I've done that. Here are just an example, 3 posts here, and the videos I've made. These are the videos I've made. Your role as a Muslim layman towards our brothers in Palestine. I've talked about their martyrs. I've talked about our stance towards Palestine and the boycott matter. This is why I explained it again. Here I spoke about also religious problems need religious solutions, and I was talking about Palestine. I talked about here curse the baby killers also. Talked about Palestine, supported them. There's many things I've said and supported Palestine. But you have to understand something, dear brothers and sisters. I am not, my accounts are for religious da'wah purposes. Yes, I will dedicate some to raise awareness, to do this, to support it publicly, support the cause of the Palestinians. But I'm not going to dedicate my whole account for this. I know this is my goal is da'wah, so I'll continue doing what I'm doing. Khalas, I showed my stance. I showed this, and I continue to do my what I'm doing. I'm not a news agency. I'm not a news agency. I'm not a political analyst or anything like that. I'm into da'wah. I do da'wah. انتهى الموضوع. Yeah. So every time I have to renew my wala, my allegiance, this is absurd. Anybody who has a problem, go this guy. And why is this this attitude on social media is happening? People are going around policing. This guy didn't say anything. This guy is a sellout. This guy's a sellout. This guy didn't say anything. This guy didn't say enough. Well, this guy didn't do dua like Ali Dawah. Like, no, you can then, but he didn't do dua. No. Saying the dua, may Allah destroy them. You have to say that. What is this? Who made these rules? It's not up to you what we say and what we don't say. خلاص, we are Muslims. احنا الأصل فينا, we support all Muslims by belief, by physically, by everything. Yeah, whatever we can, we do. But this playing policing people, and you're kicking out people out of Islam and kicking out people out of who's with Palestine, who's not, and doing this is nonsense. This is absurd, man. This is absurd. So as you can see, I've made many videos, many posts, many material about Palestine, supporting Palestine. Next up, now let's talk about the issue of boycotting. And I'll say it again, this is maybe the 5th time I'm saying this. You have to understand, boycotting has 4 different types. First, we got individual boycotting in Muslim countries. Tick means you can do it. You can boycott whatever you want. Just like Fawzan said, you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink, so be it. Nobody's going to hold you. Nobody's saying this is haram, this is halal, don't do this, don't buy this, don't buy that. No, adi, buy whatever you want. طيب, individual boycotting in non-Muslim countries. What did you say, X? Sorry, this thing got mixed up. Sorry. Individual boycotting in non-Muslim countries. What's going on? I have 4 things. There are 4 types. Anyways, the slide got messed up. No? Sorry. Individual boycotting in non-Muslim countries, you can do. You are allowed to do individual boycotting non-Muslim. طيب, boycotting campaign in Muslim countries, this you cannot do. This is what I was talking about. Boycotting campaign in non-Muslim country, and I think I explained this before, because it's part of the Wali al-Amr, the ruler. The affair of the public goes back to him, not to us. We cannot say, hey, you buy this, don't, everyone buy this, don't buy that. And we cannot go to people's, say whatever, generally speaking. And part of it is boycotting. This you cannot do. But in non-Muslim countries, you can do it. There's no Wali Amr, there's no bay'ah. Yeah. And I say, in most cases in these countries, it's democracy. Yeah. It's a democracy, it's a democratic system. So you have the freedom to do these things. Sahih? Khalas, do them. If you see that this is permissible, if you see that these companies truly, it's a fact that they are supporting the enemy, and by boycotting it will help our brothers, then boycott and make campaigns in non-Muslim countries. That's not my business. Yeah, that's not my business. So these are the 4 types of boycotting, and you have to see who you are. Where are you? You're in a Muslim country, and this applies to you. You're in a non-Muslim country, do whatever you want. Yeah. طيب. Next up, the issue of Thumama ibn al-Athal, or al-Athal, and boycotting. He boycotted Banu Hanifa, one of the tribes there. He boycotted. طيب, I cut the hadith short because it's a very, very long hadith, how he got caught and he was tied up in the masjid, and then the Prophet came to him a couple of nights and a couple of days, and he passed by and he said hello, and all these details I'm not going to mention. But here, as you can see, he testified, he did the shahada. Yeah, he did the shahada. Then he said, then when he came to his people, he said, they told him, have you been هل صبئت يعني, have you rejected your religion, your previous religion? Yeah, you became a kafir يعني, in their religion. فثمامة said, no, by Allah, I have embraced Islam with Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. No, by Allah, not a single grain of wheat, I'm not going to give you a single grain of wheat will come to you from Yamama unless the Prophet gives me permission. See, no, by Allah, not a single grain of wheat will come to you from Yamama unless the Prophet gives his permission. First of all, there's 2 points here I want to mention. He was the owner, and he's the company owner. Let's talk in modern terms. He's the company owner, and he said, I'm not going to sell you anything. It's up to him. Kaifa? Now, what does that have to do with boycotting? We not buying. طيب معلش. Maybe buying, selling, same thing. Let's keep it the same thing, same logic, same concept. طيب, he said, unless the Prophet tells me to do. See, he took the permission. He took the permission from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He just didn't do it by himself. لا. So, bro Hajji, and there is this other person who is an extreme Khariji. He used this. وهذا من الجهل. And they call him Imam of the West. Hey, Imam, he doesn't even know how to use the dalil. The dalil is against him. Yeah. This dalil that it is permissible to boycott, and this is not a dalil. This is a dalil against him. Silly. هذا هو الجهل. This is what we have. This is the mess that we have in the da'wah scene in English. People just coming up with a hadith and just they read it and they understand it and they say the opposite. ما أعرف يعني how does this work? الله أعلم. الله أعلم. والله المستعان. طيب. Next up we have طيب. Is boycotting effective in the current situation, and is it helping our brothers in Gaza? This is a very interesting article that I came across, and it talks about this issue. He says, in the end, you can check out the article. It's from a website, or it's a website. It's called The Conversation. He says, why the brand boycotts probably won't have much of a difference. In the end, he said in the article, he said, in sum, the boycotts against American products or companies have succeeded in raising awareness about Israel's treatment to the Palestinians, which is, of course, transgression or dhulm or genocide, but probably won't have a huge economic impact. If the international community would encourage corporate action against Israel like it did with Russia, it might have all the difference. But there is little sign of that happening so far. You have to understand how this is. We're not talking about a city. We're not talking about like Thumama, tribe. He boycotted a tribe. Of course, it's going to hurt them. We're talking about countries, many countries, funding a country in a war. This is boycotting commercial products, consumables. You think it's going to affect a war that's being funded by many countries? This is childish. It won't. America can just transfer the budget, relocate the budget from somewhere else, if that actually hurts them. America just recently gave, I don't know how many billions, tens of billions of dollars to Ukraine, and they're funding Israel, and they're doing that. It's nothing to them. They can just print money. Just the other day, I saw that in the news. They're funding and they're going, and nothing's happening. But I ask you, in the majority now, everyone's boycotting or not boycotting? They're boycotting. Many people are boycotting. Yeah, hatta non-Muslims are boycotting, and we've seen it. Some companies they've lost a lot of shares and profit and all that. And everybody's like, look, boycotting helps. No, it doesn't. It's just affecting company. It's not affecting the war. It's not benefiting our brothers and sisters in Gaza and Palestine. It's just that company is getting hurt. That's it. طيب وبعدين؟ وبعدين؟ لا, but this company is supporting Israel. Here, this is the question. Is that company, these companies, are supporting Israel? Let's answer this question. Let's look it up. Let's search. I am a very skeptical guy. You tell me a piece of information, I have to approve of it. Yeah? Are Starbucks and Coca-Cola and McDonald's really funding the genocide, or is this a conspiracy, a theory? I went to their website. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. I'm a skeptical guy. I like facts. What's the fact, Habibi? Just listening to people online and just having these logos and then just some X and the Israeli product. You think it's going to trick me and make my emotions شوية move and خلاص, I'll believe you? لا. أنا أهل دليل. What's the dalil? I went to their website. I checked it out. Here it says, facts about Emirates fast food company in McDonald's in UAE. They said we don't fund anything of Israel. Got nothing to do with Israel. We're not funding. As a matter of fact, we are funding, not funding, but we are giving charity to Palestine. Millions. It was on the news. UAE is giving millions. McDonald's UAE and Saudi and other countries are giving for charity and to help to the Palestinians a lot of money. Then why should I boycott them? They're helping our brothers. No, but this little bit, this 1% is going. 1%, like I said, it's not going to be any. But then that 1% to the mother company, so what? The mother company is not giving Israel any money. But there's a story of something that went viral online. They said they were giving free burgers and food for the soldiers, Israeli soldiers. See, in Israel, that was a franchise in Israel that was giving that. Headquarters does not. You have to understand, these are commercial companies. They don't care about war. They don't care about anything that happens in the world. They just want money. They are their profit. They sell a product, buy a product, market that. That's it. They got no religion. They got no belief. Nothing. They're purely secular. Yeah. So they're not siding with anyone. Just the simple answer and the fact is that there was a franchise, there was a branch that started giving burgers or free food, meals to these soldiers. But what does that have to do with the headquarters? Why do we have to punish them? This is an act by itself, an individual act in Israel. And to prove my point, it caused a lot of problems for McDonald's headquarters. And so they pulled out all their franchise or branches in Israel, or they bought them. Why? And some people are like, look, boycotting is working. No, it's not. Just the companies has been put in a very, very awkward, bad situation because of that, because of these franchises in Israel. So they pulled it out. So they don't have burgers. So what? They're going to die of hunger? Don't be silly. Don't be naive. No, it's just they just lost McDonald's. But the war is still going, unfortunately, and nothing got affected. So, it's working. Yes, it's harming the companies. It's not working, harming the enemy. It's not. Yeah? Allah al-Musta'an. Tayyib, also here again, I went on the Coca-Cola website. It says, no, Coca-Cola does not fund military operations in any country. Like I said, it's a secular company. Got nothing to do with funding wars. It doesn't work like that. And also Starbucks. Starbucks is a public share company. You know that. It's a public company. Yani, you can't. Public company means it has shares in the market. And you can't just give money to people. It doesn't work like that. It's not like a privately owned company. You can't do that. And you can go online. You can see their expenses and their fundings and everything that they spent. They don't spend it on Israel. So don't make up things like that. Kadhib hada kadhib. Yeah, like I said, I don't drink from Starbucks. I don't eat from McDonald's. And the only product that I use, Coke Zero. That's it. But I'm just looking at facts here. If you tell me boycott, say, okay, let me confirm. Is the news, is that correct what you're saying? Are they really funding Israel? What I'm looking at is no, they're not. Until today, I went online, on live, TikTok and all that, and I went and I searched. Nothing. It's all rumors. Only some shady kind of blogs and accounts on social media saying, boycott these companies because they're funding Israel. Okay, where? What? How? What's the fact? What's the proof? Nothing. Best G. But then they showed, like I told you, their franchise company in Israel are giving free meals. What does that have to do with us, or what does that have to do with the UAE McDonald's? What does that have to do with McDonald's in headquarters in America? Nothing. This is with regards to boycotting. It's not effective. It's not true. It's based on lies. People are going crazy over this, and it's not even true. Sallallahu al-Afiyah wa-Salama. Tayyib, here I also wanted to mention, why did I make a joke when I ordered a Coke Zero? I made a joke because, like I said, this is not even true. It's not even a fact. And since the 7th of October, until today, I've been slandered, called names, and my family was insulted. They've been putting memes around. Why is that? Why, when I made a joke after explaining that this is not effective, this is that, this in Sneako's interview, and I said I'm in UAE. Yeah, I'm not. This is not gonna, even if if Coca-Cola is funding, and this is not funding. I'm in the UAE, I can, and the factories here and all that. So I cracked a joke. Am I supposed to boycott? I said, am I supposed to boycott now? And I smiled. Oh, you're being insensitive. La wallah. Yani since the 7th of October, all these slanders and lies and insults, this is not insensitive. But now when I just said that, after explaining my position, and this is my opinion, I'm being insensitive. This is, I think people are just taking things out of context and being way too emotional for maybe some different hidden agenda and reasons out of spite, Allahu Alam. But whatever. طيب, if people don't boycott, are they against Palestine? The answer is no. That doesn't mean I'm against Palestine. Anybody who's boycotting means he's against Palestine. La, like I said, this is not wala wa bara. Meaning, ya akhi, I'm like I said, I'm giving charity, I'm doing all these things, I'm doing dua between me and Allah, not to show people. And so, not anybody who's not boycotting means he's against us. He's a Zionist, he's this, he's that. And this is silly. And last but not least, ruling on calling someone a rabbi and a Zionist. A lot of people have been calling me that, and calling others too. The others who talked about this boycotting thing, and they were kind of said what I said, in generally speaking. What's the ruling on calling someone rabbi? You know what's a rabbi? Rabbi is a person who preaches and believes and teaches and follows the religion of Judaism. How can a Muslim be that? You are takfiring, you are excommunicating a Muslim because of that word. The Prophet ﷺ said, anybody who calls his brother kafir, then one of them will hold that burden. And it's obviously not me, because I'm not a rabbi. I'm teaching Tawheed. I'm not teaching that Uzair ibn Allah. I'm not insulting Allah. I'm not teaching the Talmud. I'm not teaching any of that stuff. I'm not teaching Judaism. I'm teaching Tawheed, as-Sunnah, Aqidah, Bifahm al-Salaf. This is what I'm doing. You're calling me a rabbi? You have no right to do that. And in the day of judgment, we'll stand in front of Allah and I will take my rights from you. And so that's takfir. And one of the people who've been constantly saying this and putting these lies up and trying to taint and ruin my reputation is Daniel Haqiqatu. That guy is you have seen the way he talks when it comes to as-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Extremely harsh. شوية he would wish that, I don't know, we get all killed. Yeah, guy is extremely harsh and aggressive with us. But when it comes to the Rafida, sympathize. لا في خلاف to the 12ers, no, or not all of them. Where is your bravery and your anger and your ghira to Islam? Only on us, Ahl Sunnah, and especially in the Gulf and Saudi and UAE, you are the pious, chivalrous person who's not scared of anyone and anything, and talks. He's the one that's been saying, Allah Rabbi Faris, or Rabbi Faris. Clearly, this is takfir. Go left, go right, this is takfir. Not allowed. Fine, you disagree with Faris, no problem. But when you get angry and get hurt when I call you takfiri, and you've proven my point, you are a takfiri. If you're calling me this, you are takfiri. And of course, some of the other allegation, I spoke to him in private, and subhanallah, I'm in full confidence. The guy is, number one, he's a deviant. هذا مبتدع واضح, بدعته واضحة. He's collected many bid'ahs. Yeah, not to mention him praising Deobandis and saying they are good and they are Salafis, and like, what does that mean? Deobandis, really? And the second thing, he is praising many of Ahl al-Bid'ah. One of them, I don't want to mention his name. He's a clear, foul takfiri. He's online. And I told him, what do you think of that? I saw you linked with him and you are friends with him. And he's like, yeah, he's a teacher. He's a good teacher. He's related to him. وبعدين Daniel, you saw how he lies. Day and night. The guy has no shame. Lies, and I think he enjoys it. And he does memes and ma'arif shu. And that is not da'wah. This is maskhara. This is wallahi foolish, and it's a circus. Yeah, it's a joke to him. Da'wah, da'wah is the job of the anbiya, or the prophets. So when you give da'wah, you have to really respect it and give it with authenticity and with honesty and with sincerity and according to what is correct and fact, not make fitna and jokes and takfir on people and you say, well, I'm a da'i. No, this is nonsense. Alhamdulillah, يعني when he met Shamsi mopped the floor with him. Alhamdulillah. التوفيق من الله عز وجل طبعا. يعني the guy is, I feel sorry for him, wallahi, to be honest. يعني he's a mess. And the people, the worst part is the people are actually believing and following him, and they're the same. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Zionist is the same thing also. ما في Muslim Zionist. Zionist means you believe in the religious existence of the state of Israel, and you support it, and you against the Muslims, and this is a belief in you. ما في. This is not true. And I spoke to him in private once, Daniel, and I told him, you're not allowed to say that. And I spoke to him in a very gentle way, very respectful. I said, you called me a Zionist and all that. This is not true. Why are you calling me that? And you know what a Zionist means? And I explained to him these things, and he still doubled down. He increased now. He called me Zionist or Rabbi. Takfiri. What else can I say? Anyways, may Allah guide them all. I just had to say all this. Inshallah, things are clear. But now everybody's going to say, like, okay, this is haram and this is haram and this is not true and this is not a fact. And so what do we have to do? We want to help our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Ya akhi, waffaqak Allah. May Allah make you successful in everything that is good. First of all, do dua. Supplication to Allah. Ad-dua silahul mu'min. This is your weapon. Ya akhi, fi ghazwat Badr. And the Muslims were little, in quantity. And the Prophet ﷺ stayed up the night before the battle, just doing sujood and saying, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, doing dua. Even during battle, dua. What's wrong with dua? Why don't you like dua? Dua is the most beautiful, most powerful thing you can think of, but with honesty and sincerity. Yeah, that's number one. Do dua. Number two, charity through official or entrusted channels. You have anywhere you can give charity, official and trusted, authentic, reliable, or else don't. Go and give charity. Help out, ya akhi. Help out. Do your part with that. Yeah? And this is what you have to do. As for, wallahi, the rulers are not doing this, the rulers are not doing that, it's not a part of us. If you don't do dua, maybe you are sinful. And let me share with you a beautiful statement of Shaykh Muhammad Hisham al-Tahri, may Allah bless him. He's one of my teachers and mentors. He lives in Kuwait, but he lived at some time in the UAE, then he moved to Kuwait. Let me share with you what he had to say.
يقول هل سنحاسب على ما يحصل في غزة؟ إذا كنت أنت حاكم أكيد ستحاسب وتقدر.
He said, someone asked him, are we going to be accountable for what's happening in Gaza? He said, if you are a ruler and you are able, then of course you will be accountable for this. Allah will hold you accountable for this.
قادر تحاسب. لا أنت حاكم ولا أنت قادر ما تحاسب.
If you are not a ruler and you are not able, then Allah will not hold you accountable for this.
ما كلفك الله عز وجل لكن تحاسب فيما إذا قصرت في الدعاء له.
He said, Allah did not burden you with this because you are unable, you're not a ruler and you don't have any kind of means to help them, but you are accountable if you don't do dua for them.
تحاسب فيما إذا قصرت في الصدقة له.
You're accountable if you don't give charity to them.
ومد يد العون لهم تحاسب. أما أنك ما نصرتهم، أنك ما وقفت معهم في غير الدعاء وفي غير النفقة، ما تقدر. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام كان.
طبعا here he said, he repeated what he said, confirmed what he said. He said, if you are unable, then you're not accountable.
كان يرى أصحابه مثل عمار بن ياسر وأبوه ياسر وأمه سمية وهم يعذبون، هو والصحابة يمر عليهم وهم يعذبون حتى ما يستطيع أن يفك أسرهم في التعذيب، وهم مربوطون يجلدون صباحا ومساء، ما يزيد على أن يقول صبرا آل ياسر فإن موعدكم الجنة.
Here he gave the example of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he saw the family of Al Yasir, Ammar ibn Yasir, and his father and his mother Sumayya. He said him, the Prophet and the Sahaba would see them getting tortured day and night, and killed. Some of them were killed. And what did he say? He did not add, only saying, Sabran al Yasir, you will be granted, rewarded with Jannah. Have patience, al Yasir, or tribe of Yasir, or family of Yasir. Allah will grant you with Jannah. That's all he said. Sahaba and the Prophet ﷺ would see them and they wouldn't do anything because they are unable.
ما يستطيع أن يقول هذا.
ما يستطيع.
هل يحاسبه الله؟
Allah will hold him accountable, the Prophet or the Sahaba, because of this?
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا.
Allah will not burden. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah will not burden you with something that you cannot do.
وسع. موسى عليه السلام جاءه قومه وقالوا له أوذينا من قبل أن تأتينا ومن بعد ما جئتنا.
Here he's giving us another dalil. He said Musa alayhi salam. He said his people came to him and he said we were hurt and tortured and transgressed against before you came and after you came.
ما قالوا له أنت الله يحاسبك حنا قاعد نتعذب. قالوا أوذينا من قبل أن تأتينا من بعد ما جئتنا. ماذا قال لهم؟ ما قال لهم والله أنا أحاسب، أنا علي حساب، ليش ما قاتل فرعون، ليش كذا. قال اتقوا الله واصبر.
And Musa didn't tell them Allah will punish me, I'm accountable, I'm sinful. He said اتقوا الله واصبروا. Because they were telling him Fir'aun was attacking us and torturing us and hurt, and when you came he's still doing it, so do something. I cannot do it. اتقوا الله واصبروا. Fear Allah and have patience. He cannot go and attack Fir'aun and revolt and do all these things. He cannot do it طبعا. Of course we know the story.
فأمرهم بتقوى الله والصبر.
هذا هو سبحان الله.
هناك أمور موكولة لولي الأمر ليس لنا أن نتدخل فيها.
There are things that are for Wali al-Amr, for the ruler. We are not there, we're not eligible, we have no position into getting involved in and interfering in.
الحرب,
war,
القتال,
fighting,
المهادنة,
treaty, peace, anything that's political, anything these global things.
إقامة الصلوات.
Even establishing prayer, it's up to him, not us.
إقامة رمضان. إقامة الحج.
Hajj.
المغانم. أمور
Maghanim, bounties in war.
الأمن.
Things about security in the government, in the countries.
أمور تنظيم الدولة. هذه وظائف ولي الأمر. إن هو قام بها أجر. إن لم يقم بها.
And by the way, just to clarify, salah, establishing salah, meaning that public, building masajid and all that's up to him. But you have to pray, of course.
وقصر أثم وليس على أحد الناس شيء إلا النصح سرا.
Nothing is up to us or on us, burden on us, except that we give nasiha bis-sir. And I mentioned this before, and I think I've explained it in another video. Alhamdulillah. So, dear brothers and sisters, my dear viewers, I hope this is clear, and I hope I explained everything, touched on many different things, whether it is religious, whether it is political, whether it is logical even. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept and make this beneficial. هذا ما عندي والله أعلم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.